Hello and welcome back to the Penno Channel for this match review of Aston Villa versus Club Brugge in the Champions League. 3-0, Villa win, 6-1 on aggregate, and Villa are through to the quarterfinals against PSG. Absolute scenes, absolute madness. I'm joining my bro as ever to go through all things that happened within the game. Bro, what a night. Just a lot calmer, a lot more relaxed than I thought it was going to be. And yeah, there was enjoyment to be had in the second half.
Yeah, I need to get used to us not doing it the hard way anymore, where we would just make life so difficult for ourselves. And yesterday, boy, it was just calm, 3-0, no problems. Move on to the next round, 6-1 on aggregate. And me and you both said in the stadium yesterday, that was so weird at the end. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. Like, it was that comfortable. So yeah, happy days, man. And then PSG next.
Yeah, bro, it got to the stage where I was hearing Nathan Baker chants now. I don't know if you could be more relaxed hearing chants around Nathan Baker in the whole end. But yeah, just the second half, we just blew him away. There was potentially factors in regard to that which we'll discuss, but just so relaxed, so relaxing. It was not. It was nice. It was a nice thing to have. Um, anyway, bro, let's get into it and the lineup. A few changes were made. Unai brought in Ian Maatsen, brought in Boubacar Kamara, and also brought back in no, I think Rashford started last game, didn't he, against Brentford? So I think those were the two main changes, and also Emi Martinez coming back into the side. What are your thoughts on the lineup? It was nice to see Maatsen get a start. Oh, sorry, Matty Cash also coming into the side as well for Disasi. What was your thoughts in regards to how we set up and the lineup that picked?
Yeah, Cash I was always going to expect because Disasi was a booking away from suspension, so no need to risk that. Rashford started instead of Ramsey. Ramsey started again in the last game, so that was refreshing to see. And then Maatsen, yeah, I think Dean as well is a booking away from suspension, so no need to risk it. Emery trusts his guys, he trusts his squad, and I thought Maatsen was one of our best players, if not the best player, so all worked out. The midfield was more interesting for me. Kamara, Tillemans, and McGinn all starting. We saw McGinn used as the almost as like a 10 off the ball in the press. He was up front with Watkins, with Rodgers on the right, so that was quite interesting as well. And yeah, other than that, I think everything else was pretty normal.
Yeah, as you said, we kind of switched our sides, didn't we, with how we were going to look to attack with Rashford being on the left and Maatsen then being able to come inside instead of playing with, say, when it's Ramsey, he's more encouraged to go outside of Ramsey. I think he's more natural coming inside and playing in those positions. And we saw the benefits of that in the second half, which we'll get onto. But yeah, McGinn playing kind of up front with Watkins. I thought McGinn would play off the right and Rodgers would play in that space, but Rodgers found himself on the right in the formation, which was different. And yeah, the back four, good to see Emmy back. Let's get into the start of this game, bro. Obviously, the atmosphere before kickoff was mad. The tifo, the fireworks, all of that. But Villa really didn't start off in the fashion I thought they were gonna. And I don't think we touched the ball for 5 minutes. I think the first time we touched the ball was when Matty Cash blocked a cross from coming into the box. Atalanta acquitted themselves well, and Atalanta. See, I forgot. Club Brugge. I've just gone straight back to who they played before. Club Brugge acquitted themselves well, and yeah, they were really playing the ball around, and they have a good side in it.
Yeah, they played really well in that first half with 11 men and with 10 men. Seemed like every single time they were building up, they had like the out ball and their passing was so composed, one touch, quick play, always looking to go forward. And yeah, I was surprised though that they weren't pressing us. That did surprise me considering we had the 2-goal advantage. Like if you notice when Mings and Konza had the ball, they were chilling, bro. We had time and space. We were just recycling the ball between our back four and Martinez as well. So that did surprise me that they weren't more aggressive in their press. But in terms of when they were on the ball, a lot of their plan was get the ball on one side, diagonal to Salis on the other, and then try and work in our box with using triangles that way. So yeah, they had a little bit of joy. It was like crosses coming in. They had that one cross to Vanaken, who got across Mings, had that header. It weren't really troubling Martinez. But yeah, they played well, you know. I think their fans can be proud of that first half because they were bopping us at times.
Yeah, they were playing with the ball. They were playing one-touch passes around corners and stuff like that, passing and moving, and we couldn't really get near them. We stayed well in our shape, which I think was the game plan, to just stay in our shape from Unai. Obviously, I think for that first half, we both had 0.12 XG, minimal chances really. You say the Vanaken header, which went wide, was kind of their best chance within that. But they did seem a threat. They did seem to move us across the pitch, and it was just about us staying in our shape. And to go in 0-0 at half time, I think Unai would have been very happy with that, considering the state of the game. Few comments from Mr. Green's in there. He says, yes, big up at Mr. Green, as always. He says, Tillemans with another world-class performance, by the way. Yeah, we'll get into that second half display from Yuri Tillemans. Spendon's in here. Big up Spendon. He says, check in. Thanks for joining. And Mr. Green also said, Watkins must hate that Joe Ordonez locked him 3 times now. Yeah, he's a player, he is. And I think that again played into our favour when he went off injured on the 58-minute mark. And we'll get onto that because we scored against them with 9 men the second, because he was off the pitch and they were trying to make subs. So yeah, bro, big talking point of the first half. Obviously, the Sebe sending off. I think we discussed in the preview about playing long and that being a factor, especially the last few games with Robin Olsen doing that, and we'd got joy from him doing that. Good to see Emi Martinez was watching the games, because we've gone long and it's worked in our favour. It's an unbelievable ball. We've used the pace of Rashford. And what I liked from that was also is, as you said, Bruges weren't really pressing us when we had the ball, but from goal kicks, they were playing with 4 up top. There was literally a two in the middle for them. They were leaving a massive gap, and then they played with the 4 at the back. And we just bypassed that gap and played over the top at them and caught them off guard, because they'd had the better of the game from that point. For the first 17 minutes, they had all of the ball. We didn't really touch the ball in that sense. And yeah, Rashford getting in behind, causing problems. And it's a red card and just changes the whole state of the game.
Yeah, I think sometimes we can forget just how talented goalkeepers are with their feet as well. Like, these are ballers in their own right. And Martinez is waiting, no one presses. And it's almost like he just sees Rashford make the run. And he's just like, you know what, let's just go, let's just play the pass. There's one angle from behind the goal, bro. This pass is incredible, man. This isn't just a hoof. This is a calculated pass. He has to play it so Rashford can run onto the ball as well. He's not like he's just passing it straight to his chest or anything. And he understands that, Martinez, and he just sends it in behind. Rashford gets clipped, and yeah, I think that was pretty much game over, to be honest, because Rashford is such a threat when you can just utilize
It's mad, isn't it?
In behind.
Bro,
stretch
mad.
the opposition, and the guy panicked. I think it's that new right back that they've had, and he panicked and clipped the back of Rashford's foot. And yeah, man, happy days, because I don't know about you, but I was relieved because they were the better team in that first 16 minutes. They were bopping us. And I feel like that kind of just, calmed the crowd down a little bit.
Yeah, it was a big... We couldn't really see it, and we thought maybe it would get reviewed, but obviously there was clear contact, and from seeing the replays, there was as well. What more do you want? 3-1 up, and then 17 minutes in, the side who's trying to chase the game get a man sent off. It's perfect. It's perfect for what you want. It calms it down a bit. Well, you'd think it would anyway, but we'll get on to how the rest of that first half went. Big moments, and again, the lone players producing big moments in big games, just justifying even more the reason for why we signed them in for these competitions and for the league as well. Rashford gets a man sent off, changes the whole complex of the game, and leads to what ends up being a 3-0 victory. And yeah, we'll get onto Asensio, but 2 unbelievable loan signings. Looking at it at the minute, they are really performing and producing. So yeah, bro, with that in mind, I thought we'd get a bit more control of the ball, be able to relax more. Obviously, we have the free kick from that. Yuri Tillemans has a decent shot on target. Mignolet gets low. Mignolet still kicking ball surprises me, because I remember he was shocking at Liverpool, but he seemed to, refound himself, gone back home as such, and now playing for Brugge. He makes a good save. But then for the remainder of that half, for me, Brugge was still the better side. Brugge still kept the ball better. And I think one big statistic going into half-time was we only had 36% possession of the ball. They had 64% of the possession. And for 2/3 of that half, they were playing with 10 men. They really did acquit themselves. But again, as I stated, I think Unai just set us up that way to keep keep it level at the break, he would be more than happy to do that. Just sit in shape, let them have all the ball. But they were playing intricate passes and finding gaps between our midfield for sure.
And I think this is what was pissing the crowd off a little bit. It was like, hang on, are we the ones that have got a man down here? Because Bruges kept on bopping. He kept on playing the pass. They always had an out ball. As I said earlier, like first time touches, and they weren't afraid to just like go long or go across the pitch. And they were still creating, bro. Like they had that one shot that got deflected into Martinez's hands. They were getting a few corners, quick 1-2s in our box as well, trying to cut back. And to be fair, our defense did well in like clearing and blocking the crosses. But yeah, I was impressed with them, like, bro.
Yeah,
I was impressed with. Yeah, they're a good team, man. I think that team might get. I don't want to say like ripped apart in the window, but I think a couple of those players will be moving on.
Bro, just some of the stats at half time. Passes 170 Villa, 333 Bruges. Accurate passes, they had 93%, we had 90%. They had 132 passes in our half, we only had 40 in theirs. They had 25 accurate long balls, they only had 4. We only had 4. Like seriously, it seemed as if we'd gone down to 10 men. That's how it felt like on the pitch. I think a few players weren't really at it. Morgan Rogers on the ball, he was losing it at times quite cheaply and easily, to be fair. I thought some of the decision making. What was good was in moments in the first half was when Konza was just progressing with the ball. If they were sitting off on the press and leaving spaces, instead of waiting for them to jump on our players who were going into those spaces, Konza was running with the ball and winning free kicks on the pitch. I thought that was a good element, and that's maybe a way in future we can look at if teams are going to sit off like that. Well, the person on the ball, they can just progress it through into their half and have the confidence to do that. But yeah, as you said, bro, you had the Talibi shot that Martinez comfortably saved. Maatsen hit one over the bar when he cut inside. And then Watkins had that shot from the halfway line. It's just like, Ollie, like, what is going through your head at that moment in time?
Like, listen, Watkins, we all watched the rank clips before the games, and I'm guilty of it myself, and he tried to try something. But if you look at McGinn's reaction, he's fucking fuming, bro, with that passage of play. He is so annoyed because it's it's not even at the time, I said to you it's a 4v3, but it was a 4v2. Mignolet's not even off his line like that. He's got 3 players he can pass to on the other. So outside of the shot being so like terrible, like it's just bad football, isn't it? Like just pass the ball.
Yeah, decision making.
And jumps and turns around at him as if to say, "What are you doing, man?" Like that's
he has every right to as well. He has every right.
I don't know what he's trying to prove. Like, just pass the ball.
I think he's got that obviously because they were playing with 10. Mignolet was stepping into the centre back role on the ball, wasn't he? So they were playing virtually with 10 and no goalkeeper, because he was coming into the right centre back position when they were on the ball, which showed their confidence. Which is, that's really confident. But Watkins must have thought he was still playing right centre back because he's just hit it, not even looked up. Mignolet was just there, man. It was just time effort. Like, I think you said like something like that's one that's going to be clipped up for the ages. But yeah,
bro, what's that? Wah, wah, wah. Like we just fouled it, just like all into
one of those.
I want to touch on Maatsen. I don't know if you noticed, but he had license to come inside and play centre midfield for a little bit. He had one chance where he like literally just ran horizontally near the halfway line, played a lovely 1-2 with Rogers, and then carried on, drove forward, passed it to Watkins, and Watkins gave it to Cash, who he's 1v1 in the box. Maybe he could have gone and attacked his man, but he decides to cut it back. And as you said, Maatsen shot over the bar, but it's almost like a license Dean's not really afforded when he starts. I think it's more for Maatsen's link up and close control that Emery allows him to do that. So that might be another way to hurt opposition in future with Maatsen tucking in central and linking up with Rogers when he's
I think it's synonymous with when Man City used to play with the inside left back with like a Zinchenko, and then when Arsenal do it now, when if like Calafiori comes inside or Miles Lewis-Skelly, the thing that they do with that is they have their wingers wide. They have them wide. So when we can't really do that at times, especially with Jacob Ramsey playing, because Ramsey doesn't play. He plays inside. He comes inside. So the fullback has to then be either stay in his position or be used as the out ball. With Rashford, and every time I've seen Rashford play for us now, he is wide. Unless he's playing as a 9, Rashford's told to stand on the touchline. And with that, it then gives the left back, Ian Maatsen, which I think he's more comfortable with. He's coming into midfield, stepping into midfield, allows him to play that because he doesn't have to do the wide part because Marcus Rashford's holding the width. So that's what I think. Like, if when Rashford's starting now, I wouldn't be surprised if Maatsen starts those games because it gives him more license to do that. And I thought he was very good at it. I thought that's his strength. And I do remember at Burnley, that was his strength at that point. Even though he was playing left midfield, when he used to come inside for Burnley, that was where he showed he played his best football. Um, so yeah, he looked really comfortable. Definitely his best game in the Villa shirt, and he went on to play even better in the second half. But yeah, that was definitely something we noticed. Another thing, Rashford had that chance where he hit it wide. We're just begging for that guy to score a goal now, innit? I want to see this. We need to see this in the flesh, man. But he's doing everything else but just
Well,
not scoring at
that's
the
that's gonna
moment.
be me and you in the crowd as well, but we're just gonna try and like,
He needs to feed the fans, innit? He needs to feed the fans, Mr. MB himself. But apart from that, another great performance for him. So yeah, bro, going into half time, 0-0. We were like, yeah, that's just kind of bypassed us, isn't it? Happy that it's still 0-0. We said before game, we take 1-0 defeat. As long as we get through, we don't really care. But with the 10 men, you'd want to see a bit more an attacking sense, and you could feel that around the ground. Going into the second half then, we surprised that Uno changed it straight away. And
no.
it was a good thing that he did, wasn't it?
Where Watkins' injury, I think, forced his hand a little bit with that sub,
Mm,
want to protect
mm.
him. And then Kamara's on the booking from suspension. It's 0-0. It's almost just like, yeah, you're good. So yeah, Kamara off. Kamara did come off at half time, innit?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, so then Kamara off, Watkins off. And then, yeah, second half, bro. Asensio allowed into the space, into the gaps with them having 10 men. Um, blew them away. Like,
Yeah, it
blew
was
them away.
good. I think because McGinn's played so long in centre midfield now, like the last few months, I think he's just got back to being comfortable in there and probably forgot how to play up as a striker, as a second striker, or when he moved to like the right hand side. So Kamara coming off allowed McGinn to go back where he's played recently, more accustomed to Yuri Tillemans. Leon Bailey then went on the right. And then we had two out and out wingers as such starting at the same time at that point. Asensio dropped into the middle in the 10 role, and then Morgan Rogers played at top. But Rashford and Morgan Rogers split on a number of occasions. It wasn't just Morgan Rogers playing there. Sometimes Rashford found himself in the 9 position, which was good again. It just shows. I think Unai Emery recently stressed in the interview that he wants players that can play more than one position. He's always been a big fan of that. We've seen these previous teams, especially that Villarreal side. You saw players that you never thought you'd see playing positions and play there well. So with us and the likes of John McGinn, Morgan Rogers, and even Marcus Rashford now showing that he can play as a 9 as well. It shows flexibility and they can just interchange really easily. And we saw elements of that last night. But yeah, bro, second half was a totally different story, wasn't it? And that guy from PSG who will be playing his old side, what a player, man. What a player. You can see why he used to have Ballon d'Or shouts in it. Like, just the way he plays when he's fully fit. And what the first half, I was saying in regards to Bruges kind of allowing us to space in the middle of the pitch and not really pressing. We weren't really occupying it as such. There was still massive gaps and no one was really moving into those positions. With Marco Asensio, he's going to occupy those spaces, and it allowed him to get on the ball more in those areas and start creating and really having a presence in the second half.
Yeah, I think this first goal is so underrated because the passing starts from way back. It starts at the halfway line, and we work it from the left-hand side. The ball comes into Rogers centrally, I think. And I just love Villa now. It's not like shooting for shooting's sake. There's a patience to our game around the box. And Rogers isn't going to force it. He's not going to force it. He's going to look around for his options, plays it to the left. I think we work it back round to McGinn. McGinn plays it to Bailey. And this pass is so good. I think he's almost made it look too easy that people aren't appreciating the passing off. Like, it's so
Nonchalant, bro.
nonchalant. And it's just a little flick over, gets past both their players. And the finish is crazy as well. It's like top of the net from Asensio. And then that really is game over, tie over, quarterfinals. But yeah, credit to Bailey coming on. And Emery must be pretty happy with that. Like, his 2 substitutions link up for the first goal. Just like, almost like he
Just like
planned it.
that, man.
Just
In
like
the
he planned
first
it.
5 minutes. First 5 minutes of the second half, his 2 subs come on. I think it's good work from John McGinn initially as well, because the pass that comes across the box, it looks like he's going to the Bruges player, and John McGinn does as he does and gets in front of him and like keeps possession. The ball gets to Leon Bailey, and that pass it's exquisite, man. It's like it kind of looks like he's messed up the pass to Cash. That's how I thought. He'd messed up the overlap to Cash and putting him through. But actually, Asensio had just found the space in the pockets in the box, and right foot, left foot, don't matter. He's finding the back of the net at the minute, and that's what now 7 goals for us in 8 games. I think. Well, in 4 starts anyway. The most now he has the most goals as a substitute in the Champions League. I think it's 12 in the competition's history.
Yeah,
What a player, man!
he probably thinks I don't even like that stat.
Yeah, he probably doesn't, but he's got a record in the Champions League. You know what I mean? He's a game changer. He's literally a big game changer. And I remember all the years of watching Real Madrid. Yeah, you'd always remember Asensio coming on and just smacking one from 25 yards at it in just like a game, and getting a goal for Real. And he's just doing it again for us. I think he scored the same amount of goals as he scored last season for PSG throughout the whole season. He's flying at the minute, and Unai's giving him that, responsibility and that trust, and shapes our game around him. He's moved Morgan Rogers out wide, so Asensio can play in that space. That shows he trusts Asensio in those areas to move a guy who was dominant in games, especially against Man City in those central areas. He's moved him out of position so Asensio can sit in there. So yeah, and he's thriving and he's flourishing. Just before that, bro, I wanted to say that Tyrone Mings tried to take the game in his own hands. That was a mad turning shot. Absolutely smacked it. I thought he'd done his knee, hit it so hard, but thankfully he didn't. But it's nice to see Tyrone Mings have those moments once every few months where he decides to take a game into his own hands. I remember over the years where he runs with the ball from like centre back and runs with it 50 yards and tries to put a cross in and stuff like that. But yeah, Mings had a great game again yesterday before he came off as well. He was imperious, so did Ezri Konsa in the box, especially when the balls were coming in first half. But yeah, bro, we go 1-0 up. Asensio, Bailey, great goal. And the second one doesn't come too far later, 57 minutes, and it's 2-0. Before that, though, I forgot to mention again, Asensio nearly makes it 2-0, bro. Going through 1-on-1. That was 4 minutes after he'd scored the first. The run and the intelligence, because he drops into the middle and then runs in behind the defender, is quality. But the ball from Yuri Tillemans to find him is audacious. He's in so much space, and he'll be disappointed with himself that he didn't bury it. But the football just changed, didn't it, from that point after the first goal?
Yeah, Tillemans is getting robbed of assists, man. Like, even first half, he set Watkins up for that run, and O'Donnell's got in front of him. Like, he's a joy, man. This is like Tillemans. It's every game. It's not even like 1 or 2 games now. It's every single game. He was unreal again today, and it's almost like now he's set that level where I'm kind of underrating him now because I'm so used to it. Like, this is the standard that he's set, and the ball's incredible. The gaps opened, as we said, centrally because they were going to go for it. And yeah, Asensio, he almost tries to like wait for the keeper to make his move and then slot it. I almost thought like Mignolet might got a touch on it to like pull it onto the post. I'm not sure, but it's unlucky, isn't it?
Yeah,
Asensio only scores braces. Like, he only gets 2 goals, so he's just trying to keep that inside. That's why.
Well, yeah, that ball. You're right about underrating Tillemans now. He will get to that point because the consistency is so high. He's just consistent every game. And when players become that consistent, they start to get underrated. So
it's like Grealish 2020-21 season. Like, every game was just on it. Like, you just become so used to it.
So yeah, bro, I totally forgot about that chance because 3 minutes later, Ian Maatsen gets his goal, man, his first goal. And the move again in the football for that goal is so good.
Yeah, I think you frozen, bro.
I'm back.
Yeah, I think you froze. But yeah, the best part about this goal for me is Rogers almost like dragged back to buy himself time, wait for them to move, and then pass to Maatsen. Yeah, the football's so good. And this is what I like.
Even the Rashford touch, bro. When the ball comes over the top, Rashford brings it down from the skies and plays it.
Oh, yeah, from Tillemans' pass.
Yeah.
Bro, exquisite, man. Like, the
football's absolutely the confidence. When it's confidence, you want to look and you're cruising. The confidence, and he shows the quality of the players that we actually do have. Because the football was a joke, as you said, bro. The drag back and pass from Rogers is is unreal. It's the footwork's beautiful, and Ian Maatsen, because he's playing inside, he gets into that area and he puts it away, hits the defender. But good to see him getting in that area, and he got the goal that his performance deserved. He deserved that goal because he was my man of the match for that game for sure.
That centre back trying to force a move to Villa or something, like he loves to pull it in his own net. You want O'Donnell, it's not you.
Yeah, he's trying to get a sly move if he can.
But yeah, what I love about our goals yesterday, like they're all cutbacks or like they're from key areas in the box, like they're big XG chances, and like that's sustainable. That's how you score the most goals. Get into the box, cut back for a first time finish, and we did it twice yesterday. So happy days, bro.
Yeah, one thing from that goal is I don't think Brugge were too happy because O'Donnell had gone off. He was off the pitch injured, and they had their 3 subs like ready to go. The ball went out of play, and the ref didn't allow the substitutions to be made, or the fourth official, they weren't ready. And from that move, we scored the second. So they were fuming because they only had 9 men on the pitch at that time. But that worked into our favour. I think I said at the time, they've only got 9 men here. Let's get another, and we did. We made the most of it, and that's just being clinical again. Just when the situation's in your favour, punish teams, and that's what we did that second half. A few more comments in here, bro. Michelle's joined. Thanks for joining, Michelle. She says, hi, guys. Sven Dan says, top pass in relation to Bailey. Yeah, it was a joke of a pass. Unbelievable to find Asensio in the box there in that pocket. Michelle says, Mings is playing the best I've seen him. He is. He's come back after the few games. Even when he came back, actually, he had a decent performance. The Brentford game was a good performance, and that was one of his first games back from the injury. And he's just really slotted in now and found his feet again, which is great to see. AVFC Stato's joined. Thanks for joining, Stato. He said, sound lads. Will's also in. Thanks for joining, Will. He said, hi guys, I'm so glad we got PSG and not Liverpool. Yeah, we'll get onto that and talking about that tie because me and my bro had contrasting views on who we'd like to see us face. He was more in favour of PSG. I was more in Liverpool. It turns out we got PSG. They're both great sides, and we're gonna have to play either one of them. But going back from that, bro, again, we get our third goal, 11 minutes. 11 minutes from being 0-0 to 3-0 up. And it's that man again, Marco Asensio. Just talk about this relationship with Rashford and Asensio that they're harnessing, because the play from Rashford is mad. It's mad. The way he just cuts in, checks in, keeps his head up. Instead of going for goal, you'd think, he hasn't scored for us yet. He'd be greedy and go for goal. I think I was kind of willing him at that point to have a shot. But he doesn't do that. Cuts it across to Asensio, who again finds himself in space in the box. And it's another fantastic goal from us.
Yeah, I think this is just a case of let the ballers ball. Like, these are on such a high level. They played in the biggest competitions, and like they're just showing off at this point. And I don't even think like they don't even have to know each other, or they don't even have to talk to each other in the dressing room. Like, it's quality on the pitch, and it's that football telepathy. And Rashford, obviously, he could have finessed that into the bottom corner, the way he was running at the keeper, but just unselfish. That's like how he's been playing, in my opinion, just unselfish. I think that's what 4 assists now since he's joined us altogether. And yeah, cuts it back, picks the right option, and Asensio. It's like when you look because he kind of hits it at Mignolet and it goes under him. I don't know if you noticed with that finish, like it goes under Mignolet when he had the rest of the goal. Asensio for the goal. So yeah, when you look in, it's going for you. And yeah, another brace. He's a joke.
One of them ones. Game over. Kill the tie.
I don't know why. It reminds me a little bit of the Batista, the old like.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me.
Just like, and call the game off, man. Call the game off. It's done. It's over. Finito. And 61 minutes, bro. You're like, that's it. We've got 30 minutes of chilling here. We've got 30 minutes of enjoyment just to watch the ballers play. We didn't stop playing. We created more chances, but there was joy in the stands. The songs and the chants. I was hearing chants I hadn't heard before, or not heard before. Sorry, heard in a long, long time. Shall I say? Players from back in the day, going back as far as Paul McGrath, Juan Pablo Angel. as I said, a Nathan Baker chant as well. He was just loving life, and it's so easy. It was so easy and comfortable. And as you said, bro, I did not expect that game to be like that at all. I was going there expecting to buckle in and be on the edge of my seat for 90 minutes. But I was
Well,
thankful.
I didn't know what to do with myself. Genuinely, I didn't know what to do with myself. Like, since when did Villa make it that easy?
Yeah.
They were supposed to be winning 1-0. That was supposed to go to the last kick of the game where they get a corner, their keeper goes off and he heads it over the bar. Like, that's how that script was supposed to go. But what,
Yeah.
6 on an aggregate in a Champions League round of 16 with what, like 20 minutes to enjoy and just take the piss a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And even me and you were getting chance started as well, man. It's like,
I
well,
know, yeah, I know.
I jumped in, but
Got some minerals out of there. But yeah, man. Que sera, sera. We're going to PSG. I think that was it, really. There was a few chances. Cash had that good shot. Bailey put one wide. Rashford was looking for his first goal. You know, when Rashford starts coming in from 30 yards out and licking them, just hitting daisy cutters or just smashing them. He wants that goal. And
Tillemans had
yeah,
that shot as well, that forced a save. That was a good shot.
he did, which made a good force to save out of Mignolet. But that was it, bro. We confirmed that we are quarter-finalists into the last eight of the Champions League. And now it's on Paris, where we go, on Paris. And just a few more comments within here. Shout out Stato for this stat. Villa have now kept 3 clean sheets in their last 4 games in all competitions, more than they did in their previous 21 games in all comps. It's mad that we're starting to keep clean sheets now. It's really like buses, isn't it? It's really like buses at the moment. Long may that continue, because that's a big factor. That's a big factor. If we can start defending properly again, we have the attack to punish teams, and we've started to do that. No more conceding shots from the first shot on target, please, Villa. Keep it up for sure. Kenem, thanks for joining, Kenem, and thanks for the donation as well. He says you're on early. We are. We couldn't contain ourselves. We couldn't wait too much longer, so we've come on early today for sure. Thank you for joining. And also, Michelle, thank you for the donation. We really appreciate it. I forgot to say at the start, as always, if you could like and please subscribe if you are new here. We really appreciate that as well. And
you're getting close to 1,000. Close to 1,000, man. We want to get to 1,000 by before the end of March?
Yeah.
We're getting close to 1,000. We're on what, 918 now?
Yeah. That's it,
so
bro.
Yeah, if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the content, if you like the videos, we love making these videos. We're going to carry on making these videos, especially this journey that Villa are on right now as well. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, if you could do that, and yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better, bro. So now, obviously, international break. We have a break now, but big games coming up. Preston away in the cup, which is huge. We want to go to Wembley, obviously, so that's a massive one. But 2 legs against Paris Saint-Germain, the side who were kind of shit in the group stage. If anything, if you look at it, they were the lowest ranked side coming into these knockouts and are the lowest ranked side from the group stage going into the quarterfinals. They finished 15th in the league phase. But they've somehow, since coming back against Man City, they've just flipped the script in it. And now they're being backed as one of the favourites to win the whole thing. Yeah, what are we saying about facing PSG, bro?
Where do you start, man? Where do you actually start? Like, I just love the narratives on Villa's side. Like, you have Martinez going to France, where he's like public enemy number 1. You have Unai going back to Paris, where his LA PSG video is going viral at the moment. So that one's getting run back. You have Asensio, who can play now. I know some Paris Saint-Germain fans will be like, why are we sending one low? Like, why have we let him? Obviously not speaking in English, but you get what I'm saying. And then, I just think there's so much storyline around it. Rashford, 2 goals. He scored. I only thought it was 1 goal. 2 winners. He scored at the Parc des Princes now for Manchester United. So is he going to make that a trilogy? Like, there's so much narrative and storyline. And yeah, I think it might not be looked at as the most exciting Champions League tie. Like, as a neutral, you'd probably be thinking people would look at Madrid, Arsenal, Bayern, Inter. But I don't know. I think we can go toe to toe, man. Like, their midfield scares me a little bit. So we'll be interested to see how Emery combats that midfield. Does he go Kamara, Nana, Tillemans to try and beef up our midfield, or yeah? But I think we can score, bro. I really do. I think we can score.
I was saying, bro, I was thinking, you know, that picture of Emery at PSG where he's got the slit in his eyebrow, where he's looking like he's been chilling with the local Parisians. Like he looked like a bad man when he was at PSG and about his business.
I
Obviously,
ain't seen that for
like
no.
yeah, he had Edison Cavani there. He had him, you know, he made him the striker who was after he'd left from Napoli. Scored bags of goals. Neymar, I think, had one of his best seasons on the United PSG, and Mbappe he brought through as well. After he's moved from Monaco, that was like he had him for his first season there. So he has history with PSG. Also, I think it's not his accomplishments at PSG get pushed aside all because of that remontada game against Barcelona. Everything he done at PSG just gets written off because of that one game in the Champions League, and he'll be looking to avenge that comeback. And I know we're not playing Barca, but he'll be looking to, you know, say, look, this is where I've gone and how I've moved on from my time at PSG. Even though I think he got the highest points total in PSG's history in the league in that period as well. He had one of the highest win percentages as well. So it's all for Emery to go back there and change the narrative and show what Villa's all about. You obviously say about Marco Asensio going out on loan from us. He was seen as a bit part player, if that, would come on now and again. Wasn't part of their plans. Can he go and show what he's been showing already at Villa and get a few daggers against them? The narrative with Marcus Rashford and Manchester United and the goals he scored already at the Parc de Prince is huge. And then Emi Martinez, Argentina's France's most wanted, isn't it? Like he's France's most wanted. We saw at the Ballon d'Or ceremony the amount of booze he was getting when he was in Paris. We've seen the booze he got at Lille. Not so much Monaco because they weren't really about it. But you know he's going to get it when he goes to PSG in the first leg. He's going to get it. And when Martinez is usually in those moments, that's when he steps up the most. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Emi Martinez performs in these games as well. Because this is where now the big boys, the big players step up, the ones who have been in these situations before. And to be honest, in this Villa squad now, we have a number of players that have been there in these situations before. You think of Emi Martinez, World Cups. You think of Pau Torres, won the Europa League with Villarreal, played in semi-finals with Villarreal. Ian Maatsen was in the Champions League final only last year. Yuri Tillemans, Boubacar Kamara used to play in European these situations. Marco Asensio, Marcus Rashford, Leon Bailey's played in Champions League previously. Like we have players who have this experience at the top level, and it's now time for those players to step up again and show up against this PSG side, who you can say a number of their players are quite inexperienced at this level. Barcola, they're great players, but Barcola, Due, João Neves, Vitinha, they're not that experienced at this end of the Champions League. So, if anything, if you probably go squad for squad and look at the players and the names, we might have the more experience in top level European competition because of some of the players we have within our squad. Don't know what your thoughts are around that.
No, I think that's a good point. Yeah, definitely a good point. But they got so much quality in their side. Like even just the fact they got to bring Due off the bench like the other day, I was just like, wow, like they've got that young French core. And yeah, it's going to be a great time, man. I can't wait. I wanted them instead of Liverpool. I think it's the more attractive tie. I just think there could be more drama. And just allow like going to Anfield for like your Champions League. Like just go to France. Let's do something different in it. So, and we knocked out the last French side in the Conference League, so it could be a good omen. What I do want to say is since this tie's been happened, I'm realizing just how many PSG garms I've actually got. When I started putting them in a bin bag already, like I don't want to see that stuff around the house. And just...
the one I got is the Messi, the white one. I've got that one with the pink line in the middle. But that ain't seen the light of day now. That's done. That's gone. Because I never foresaw us playing in these situations 2 seasons ago. So it's all changed the narrative a bit, innit? But yeah, I can't wait for this, bro.
All my life, this is the first time I'm actually paying attention to like top European clubs and what they're doing. Outside of them just being like the team you see like on FIFA or like the team that's always in the Champions League that just never impacts Villa ever. Like now you're looking at that. Me and you were watching that Real Madrid Atletico penalty shootout yesterday was just like, how does this actually affect Villa? Like, how are we living in a time where Villa like get impacted by this? Like, this could be our semi-final opponent. So it's all mad, and I'm just enjoying it, man. Definitely.
Another factor is we've got a few Frenchmen in the squad as well who will probably be close friends or know about the French forwards especially. We've got 2 French defenders and a defensive midfielder who's French as well. So they'll know the strengths and weaknesses of probably a Bukola, Doué, and Ousmane Dembele as well. I can't imagine the number of times Luca Dean's come up against Ousmane Dembele in French national team training. It must have been so many times. So he'll know his triggers and even though Ousmane Dembele is bow-footed and he's having some second half of the season, Digne will know his strengths. It's just whether we can apply the game plan that Unai Emery sets.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of all the players that are going to get booed by their fans. Like Kamara's a Marseille boy, he's getting booed. Martinez is getting booed. They might just start booing Konza just for like no reason and it just because they can. Like, I think the atmosphere is going to be sick. Like, I'm so excited for that game already. And it's PSG,
Yeah.
man. I'm just going off heritage. Like, we have more European heritage than them. Like, we can say this, and
Facts, we ain't been in the top tier European competition for 40 odd years, but we have that trophy. That trophy is in our trophy cabinet. They don't, and they're after it. And
I
they're
think
known
it's.
for being serial Champions League bottlers. That they are known for that.
I think honestly, I really do think it stands for something. The fact that we did win it in 1982, like there's a different feeling coming into this competition that we had. There's an almost like a silent expectation. It's just like, hold on, we've done it before. Yes, it was ages ago. Yes, it was a different competition, but it's almost like there's this preset standard that we had coming in, and I think it is a reason as well why we did so well in the league stage of the Champions League. Like the players are walking past and they're seeing the trophy. Like this thing all has its impacts, and they're thinking, hang on, this club's won it before. Like this is a big club. Like they've been here before. What we're doing is not nothing new. Like we can go far in this competition. So yeah, I think honestly, I really do think winning it before it helps as well with like the stature and the heritage side of it.
Definitely. And if we can just come away from, PSG with what, a nil and a draw or a 1-goal deficit, you go in that tunnel, you have that Champions League straight in the middle of that tunnel. Let them know who they're playing against and who they're up against and the history of the club. Impose some fear factor into it when they play us at home in the second leg. Let them know that we're not messing. And I'm sure they'll see some of the names within our squad and especially their fans. When they go through the squad and see the actual names, they'll be like, actually, but they have some players in that squad. Just name brand wise and the international teams that they play for. You go through the squad and you're like, okay, this is a squad full of full internationals playing in some of the best international teams in Europe and across the world. So yeah, I hope they do underestimate us. I really do. I hope they do underestimate us. But with Luis Enrique, he's a great manager, and I can't really see him doing that. But I hope they do. Final point. I don't even put this up. But Ken says, "Do you think Duran would like to play for Villa now?" Just let Duran.
It's mad. It's mad how he was linked to PSG as well. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he was.
Jeez, imagine if that was his homecoming man. Now that would probably be the biggest game of the round if that was the case for the neutral.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Can't wait, and it's a nice for it to have a bit of a break. Let it just all mellow out down again before the big finish at the end, and it will be good for us as well. Just players rest. I hope too many aren't called up to international duty. Emery said Ollie Watkins has got a small injury, so hopefully he just doesn't get selected for England. Just let him rest. Let him
I think
chill out, let him breathe.
Luca Dean's been called up to France, but Kamara hasn't. So
yeah, which is good. I'm glad Kamara hasn't because he's just come back from injury again. And Luca Dean, you know what to do. You know what to do, my friend.
bro, start injuring Doué and Dembele.
You know what to do, my friend. Yeah.
I'm so serious, man. Start injuring them.
Yeah, good. Anyway, bro, I think we'll do it there. Thank you all for joining and all the comments within the chat as well. Really appreciate it. As I said, if you could subscribe if you're new around here. And also leave your comments if you haven't had the chance to do it in the chat or you're watching after. Leave your comments after the video and your thoughts about us going through and going into the games against PSG in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We say that again, the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Villa's history in the Champions League, when the top tier of Europe, bro, is they've never finished below the quarterfinals. They've always reached quarters minimum. Can we go and replicate 82, man? Let's keep dreaming. 4 more games and we're there in that final. Let's keep dreaming, man. Let's keep dreaming. Anyway, thank you all for joining. We might have a video coming out during the international break. If not, we'll see you for a preview for the big game in the FA Cup against Preston. Bro, thanks as always, and see you all on the next video up the Villa.